Good morning, everyone. It's Aniva Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, my thoughts are all about spirituality, of course, and spiritual insights. Spiritual insights is the section that I'm going to create on this YouTube channel to give you a little bit of perhaps inspiration, but certainly information about spirituality and connecting with something different. And I wanted to make sure that I finally started talking about this a little bit more comfortably and openly because it is a space that I'd love for everyone to be able to reach. And I know that we all can, but it does take some mindful attention. And you know that I do encourage mindfulness and meditation regularly. So today I wanted to start this video with one quotation by an author named Sue Thoele or Thoele. And I love the quotation because I think it's very applicable. This one says, "The veil between us and the divine is more permeable than we imagine. The veil between us and the divine is more permeable than we imagine." And isn't this interesting? I've certainly experienced this. It's one of the things that I can't say that it was because I was interested in understanding the divine, but I will say that I've always felt that there's something that I need to learn from what I would call at that time the other side and this side to help people on this side. So this was my journey and has been my journey, and I guess continues to be my journey. And then soon I learned different language and suddenly learning that the veil that I was trying to see beyond is actually part of the divine energy. And I certainly felt that it was from ancestors before us, or maybe family, maybe wise teachers, sages, gurus, all of that. I knew I wanted to connect with to be able to help people here on earth, living and breathing and around me. So, around all of us. And so, this was my journey. And I want to make sure that you know that anyone who is on a similar journey or interested in this sort of journey, there is some work to be done. So, do you know how when we're trying to get a degree, we know that we've got these courses to take to get through to get to that degree? And when we're on a spiritual journey, there's also some work to be done. So, we know that even anyone who could sign up for courses and not really understand could memorize information in terms of academic information to pass exams. And yet, when it's put to practice, there are some people who are not able to put to practice what they've even passed in exams. And in terms of spirituality, your exams are your own, and no one is judging you except yourself. And often we are our own worst critics, right? So in terms of that, the nicest thing is as we progress, the joyfulness of the experience is what pulls us further in and further deeper into our own selves to truly understand ourselves and the world around us, and then to be able to help people and ourselves from that same energy. So for me, I've definitely found this very, very useful. And I thought today's video, in just starting this experience with you so that you can share my experience and hopefully learn something about your own, as I've worked more with meditation, more with mindfulness, more with awareness of my thoughts, words, and actions, I'm noticing certain details. And I thought I'd just share one of the simplest experiences I had. Simple, I say loosely, because when I first had this experience, and I'll say, I think of this as a mystical experience, and I do feel that I saw and learned something from the other side. So, in this experience, this very one of my first, where I actually was aware of the life I had before this life. And I am no expert in lives before lives. I'm not an expert in past lives, but I am an expert, I'm going to say, in understanding where my life is pulling me, right? And where I'm supposed to help others too. So, in that, this is the simplest and funnest, or most amusing, I'll say, most embarrassing too, perhaps. I can say that I had this awareness of literally being in a space before this life And in that life, I know myself, I am a person, or I have had just had a life where I was a race car driver. You imagine this? Now, I love driving fast, but I can tell you I am very cautious on the road. And in that life between lives where I'm being given the direction for my next life, I know I'm being told that now this life, you're not going to find it so easy to drive. And I remember laughing. That's actually what woke me from that experience, was my laugh about it, because it's exactly my laugh today. And literally feeling a full awareness of, yeah, that's easy. And I know I said that. That's impossible, for one thing, because I was such a good driver. And it's not possible that I would ever feel not comfortable in driving and enter this life. Now, I learned how to drive very early, but for a series of different experiences that have happened in my life, I'm not so comfortable on highways today. And I can tell you that I'm very cautious on roads and I drive well. I'm comfortable, but I do know that I've always got this caution in me. Just so interesting that when we think about this, now I know it was a mystical experience, and I know that that is part of my life experience here, because in having this experience, I'm focusing on this. And for me, this information of connecting with divine energy is so much deeper than driving confidently. Just so interesting. This is not to say that I don't drive confidently and that I'll never be confident on a highway, but for this time, it's like I absolutely needed this time to feel confident about this other area, which to me was more important in this life. So today I wanted to share that with you so that you know that everything that's happening in this life for you too is actually from divine guidance, and we have participated in this direction and experience. So I thought some people would say, well, what is mysticism? And I thought I would tell you that there are descriptions of what a mystical experience is. And I came across this definition, which matches for me. It says it's the belief in direct experience of transcendent reality or God, especially by means of contemplation and asceticism instead of rational thought. You get all of that? So, belief in direct experience of transcendent reality or God, especially by means of contemplation and asceticism instead of rational thought. And if you've been watching my videos, you notice how much I spend time in contemplation, and I do feel this is exactly my experience. So I thought this would be very interesting for people to do, and I certainly encourage it. And it's certainly going to be the theme of this series of videos that I'll be making next, and certainly this section in my YouTube channel. So today I'd love for you to think, have you ever had an experience like that? Because I suspect we all do. And sometimes we might think, I'm just imagining things, or I've just created this in my mind or whatever. But when you have one, you will know that you did. I will tell you that there is no doubt, there's no uncertainty, there's just such clarity about, yes, I've had that experience. So today I want to leave you with one more quotation, because some of you know that I'm also going to be speaking about consciousness and spirituality in a lecture soon, but it's certainly my direction in my practice. So today I want to finish with this quotation by Albert Einstein. This quotation says, "The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious, the fundamental emotion, which stands at the cradle of true art and true science." True art and true science, and it's the cradle of this. And I love this description. I want you to know that this is that mysterious experience. This is mysticism. This is magical. I've experienced it. I hope you do too. And I hope you look forward to my journey to share with you for your own growth and mystical experiences, perhaps, but certainly some sort of enlightenment. I hope you have a fantastic day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.